Hello everyone, welcome back. In this one I'm going to talk about the premium strategy, so the golden strategy, but step by step, okay? I've created this entire doc. This is not the finished doc. I'm going to add some images, I'm going to add some stuff to this just to show you, because someone was complaining, not showing this. I know many of you understand the strategy already because of the video which I posted, but only one person, because of him, I'm going to record this entire thing, okay? So if one person needs help, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to help everyone out by making a video like this. So thank you to that one person, okay? So I'm going to explain this entire strategy step by step. I'm going to show some trades. I'm going to show some trades which I wouldn't enter. That's really it, okay? I'm just to say it step by step. You might say, well, whoa, there's so many steps here. Trust me, this is nothing. Altogether, this entire thing is literally like 3 steps. This entire thing. But however, this will tell you step by step. Okay, if this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, okay? And it also tells you some notes, also tells you some general information. So anyway, let's get straight to the first part, okay? So general information. So we trade from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. UK time. So this is basically 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. New York time. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. This is the only times which you trade the strategy. Anything after this, after 10 a.m. is really not that good. So how I get it is UTC London. I trade London time, and if you want to change it to London time, press this London, and then you got it on your thing. Okay, so that's the times at which we trade the strategy. Okay, so the second thing is don't trade the strategy on Mondays. I have tested this. Yes, Monday might work. I'll show you an example where it works. But I don't trade the strategy on Monday. Monday is just not the day to trade this. It's not the best. If you check it for yourself, you'll see that, yeah, sometimes it's very manipulative on Mondays. And yeah, so I just wouldn't trade on the Mondays. Another one, don't trade strategy on heavy news days, which affects the pairs you'll trade strategy. So the pairs which you'll trade on is Euro USD, GBP It also works on USD, CAD, SPX, and XAU. However, I don't use these because these can be manipulative. It just, yeah, I like my win rate to be high and my RR to be high, okay? So Euro USD, GBP if we see heavy news which affects GBP and Euro USD, I wouldn't enter the trade, okay? So for example, if there's FOMC, you guys all know FOMC. FOMC is where there's crazy news for the day, talking about interest rates, inflation, whatever. I'm pretty sure CPI, that's the inflation. Sorry, my bad. If we get NFP, non-farm payroll, if we get some GP news like manufacturing for the morning, if we get Euro news, I just want to enter for the day. And if you want to know when I'll enter, so if you see news for the day and you're still struggling, you're like, okay, I don't know if I should trade today or not, just message me and I've got you. So today, for example, I'm not trading. Why? Let me just open Forex Factory up and I'll show you. So for example, today there was all of this, okay? As you can see, there's a bank holiday for GBP and Euro, and these are the 2 pairs which I trade, GBP and Euro USD. Whenever there's bank holidays are usually in Monday, and I don't trade Mondays anyway, the strategy, so it doesn't really matter. But today there's bank holiday, I don't know why, there has to be a reason, but anyway. But there's also non-farm payroll. Whenever there's non-farm payroll for the day, I just don't trade, okay? I just stay away from the chart. Yeah, just leave the charts be, okay? Non-farm payroll is too effective, it's too manipulative, and it will change, okay? Like it will affect your trading a lot, okay? So anyway, let's get straight to the strategy checklist, A to Z, okay? So again, this is not the finishing product. The finishing checklist which I've got is going to be added with images. It's going to be added with everything. Because again, because of that one person, I'm wasting about 2 hours on my day. Not wasting. Luckily, I'm helping you guys out. I'm taking 2 hours out on my day to make this entire thing, okay? So the first thing is mark out times 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. UK time. This is 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. New York time. We do this because this is the Asia range. 10 p.m. UK time is also the time in which the new daily candle opens. This is what ICT calls the power of 3, because on the daily time frame, we form the accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Okay, so let me actually show you what I mean by the daily time frame forming the power of 3. I remember ICT from 2020 mentorship. He was talking about this when I was in it. So for example, the daily candle, let me just show you an example right here. So let's just say there's a candle like this, and this is a finishing candle, and this is a bullish candle, okay? Let me also increase this like that. Okay, so this is a daily candle, and this is a bullish daily candle, okay? what happens is when we open the new candle is we open it straight after the close of the daily candle. So this is a bullish green candle. Okay, if you don't understand this, just skip this part, and you don't really have to know this, but I'm going to teach this for the people who want to know what I mean by all of this, who wants to understand why I'm entering a strategy like this. I wouldn't get everything from thin air. This entire thing is a process, A to Z, not like Ichimoku cloud where you don't know what it's doing, not like RSI where you don't know why it's going up. This, I do know everything, okay? So yeah, once this bullish daily candle finishes, the new daily candle opens on the closing of this bullish daily candle, okay? And then what we have when the new bullish daily candle opens is we have a move to one side of the market, right? So this is from 10 o'clock to 7 o'clock. We usually have some move to one side of the market. It's also the Asia range, so we don't have like a massive move. So that's why, yeah. So you have a new daily candle opening, and what we're going to have is we're going to have, yeah, a new candle, okay? So the new candle might open like this at 10 o'clock, and it might start going down, okay? So for the 10 o'clock, it might start going down. Let's say, so at this time it might be a red candle, okay? And then what will happen at 8 o'clock onwards, if this was bearish, after 8 o'clock, my theory is that this is going to be bullish, forming another green candle right here, okay? And then a new wick was created towards the downside because we had that little bearish move, right? So what this is accumulation, so the opening price, manipulation going down, and then the distribution, which ends up going up, okay? Same thing towards the other side, okay? So let's just say we open on the daily candle with a wick towards the upside. Now my theory is that after 8 o'clock, we will be bearish. Okay, so let me take this red, and that's basically the theory, okay? Again, same thing, accumulation is the opening price, manipulation is the first move which the market created after 10 o'clock till 7 o'clock, which is this manipulation, and then the distribution happens after 8 o'clock. My theory is that, and we start moving down to the original direction of the market, okay? So that's basically the theory I trade off with the strategy, okay? And I do believe that, no, I know this works, okay? I've tested it so many times, I just know it works, okay? So yeah, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So we mark out these times to 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. So let me mark out 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. on this trade example right here. I'm going to show you some winners, and then I'm going to show you some sort of weird trades which could have been a little bit, you know, whether I'm going to enter it or not, if you know what I mean, like indecisive, okay? So first off, we mark out 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. So let's do that. This time. This one, nothing else, no New York, nothing, just London, okay? So 10 p.m, which is right here, so 2200. If you don't understand this, I don't know what to say to you, okay? If you don't understand it, just message the Discord. Don't write a long paragraph, like no one's gonna read the entire paragraph. The person which wrote the long paragraph, I did not even read it. I was just like, okay, he wants me to do this, I'll do it. Don't write a long paragraph. No one's gonna read it. I'm not gonna learn from it, okay? Just tell me what I should do. Just tell me what you're struggling on, and I'll help you. So 10 p.m, which is 2200 to 7 a.m, okay, which is right here. Now, as I did say, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So the 10 p.m. opening time was right here, okay? This is the opening price. This is the opening price. Now from the opening price till 7 a.m, were we bearish or bullish? We were clearly bullish. So the big move in between this range was bullish, okay? Yes, we could have had something little like this happen, and then we could have had massive bullish move right here, and then I would still say yes, we were bullish, and that's it, okay? So the accumulation was the opening price, which is right here. So 10 o'clock opening price. The manipulation is from 10 o'clock till 7 o'clock, so bullish. That's the manipulation, and the distribution is when we start seeing 8 o'clock, and then we start entering the trade, okay? So there you go. There you go. We marked out 10 o'clock till 7 o'clock. Okay, so check the movement of Asia session. Which side of the market did the price, wait, let me actually mark it. Did price move the most? If it's consolidated, I won't be entering the trade using this strategy, okay? So which side of the market did price move the most? It was bullish, okay? If price was like this, and then it was like this, and then it was like this, then I wouldn't enter anything, because this, I would call it consolidation. We were bullish and we were bearish, okay? So it's just not clear enough for me. But this one is so clear. This one should be the most clearest one. We were clearly bullish, okay? So now, what do? Now we go on the third step. Was the movement in the Asia session bullish? If so, enter sells. So let me show you what that means. So if AJ session was bullish, like it was right here, boom, I'll be entering sells after 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock we start trading the strategy, as I said right here, on this section right here. 8 o'clock we start entering the strategy, 8 a.m. So if the AJ session was bullish, enter sells at 8 o'clock. Not instantly enter sells, so you have to wait till I finish the checklist, okay? Once you know this, it'll just come in your head. I don't have to mark out anything. I just check the chart and I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Like many other people in the mentorship, okay? So if we are bullish from 10 a.m., 7 a.m., as we are right here, after 8 o'clock, we're looking for sells, okay? So we just do the opposite of what happened from here to here. If we were, and now let's go on the next part. If the Asia session was bearish, we look for buys after 8 o'clock UK time. So basically the opposite of what Asia session did. So this example right here. So let me mark out 10 o'clock till 7 o'clock. No, this one is also bullish. You have to look for. I see sells do work better than buys, but yeah, this one's a buy right here. So 7 o'clock. No, sorry, 10 o'clock till 7 o'clock. If 10 o'clock till 7 o'clock was bearish, as I said right here, was bearish, then we look for buys after 8 o'clock. So right here, 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock was clearly bearish, right? So now after 8 o'clock, we're looking for buys. So basically doing the opposite of what the Asia session did. That should be so easy to understand. That's that, okay? So now look for a break of structure, a boss of a high if Asia session was bearish, okay? So how does it work? So if Asia session was bearish, so as I said right here, if Asia session was bearish right here, we're looking for a break of structure of a high after 8 o'clock. Why? It's because we're looking for buys. We're doing the opposite of what Asia session did. Okay, let me explain that to you again. Asia session was bearish. So after 8 o'clock, we're looking for bullishness. We're looking for buys. So we look for a break of a high. We don't look for a break of a low because that shows weakness. So now we're looking for a break of a high. Okay. So let's go on the other part. Because look for or look for a break of structure of a low if Asia session was bullish, because we do the opposite of what happened in Asia session. Same thing right here, okay? If Asia session was bullish, boom, after 8 o'clock we're looking for sells, so we're looking for bearishness, and now we're just looking for a break of a low. Okay, that's it. That's that. Very easy. After we get a break of structure of a high or low, mark out the Fibonacci retracement from the recent low to the recent high, or opposite. Yeah, so basically the opposite of the Asia session, whether it was bearish or bullish, okay? So let me explain that, what I mean. All of this I've got to explain, okay? You might be like, wow, this is so crazy. I'll show you so much examples of this, and it will get grilled into your head, okay? If you haven't already, please watch the backtesting session, okay? So I posted a backtesting session on trade examples. Watch it. It's 40 minutes long, but I'll show you so many examples of this, okay? Because this, you might say, well, oh, no, this is too long. This is too complex. I promise you, it's so easy, okay? Once you get it, it'll get grilled into your head. It'll get molded into your head, and you'll see it day in, day out. Boom, boom, boom. Enter 3RR, 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 5RR, 10RR. If you get 10 RRs, 2RR trades, okay? So let me read that again. After you get a boss of a high or low, mark out the Fibonacci retracement from the recent high to recent low. Okay, so let me just do some markups right here. So let's just say Asia session, we are bullish. And now 8 o'clock opens right here. We just look for a break of structure of a low, retrace, enter. Okay. So let me also make this white so you can see it. So 10 o'clock is right here. Let's just say, of course it's 8 o'clock, but don't quote me. Let's just say this is 10 o'clock, okay? And then 7 o'clock is right here. And then 8 o'clock is right here, okay? So 10 to 7 were we bearish or bullish? We were clearly bullish, okay? Now 7 to 8 we don't trade anything because that's manipulation time. That's Frankfurt session. And then after 8 o'clock we're looking for bearishness. So we're looking for break of a low, which we got right here. After 8 o'clock we start looking for the break of a low. We can go for any of these lows. We can go for this low, we can go for this low. Price breaks this low, don't worry. But in this case price broke this low, okay? And it broke this low a little bit. I mean, no, it really didn't. Create some equal lows right there, but don't worry. So now we mark out a Fibonacci from the recent high to recent low, and what we do is we enter off 0.62, and we also just cover the high. That's it. That's the strategy, okay? Boom. That's only 4 steps. Look if it was bearish or bullish. is bullish. Now we're looking for a break of a low. Now we mark out Fibonacci retracement. There's only 3 steps to the strategy. However, I'm explaining every single thing here because of that one person, okay? So thanks to you, I'm saying all of this, okay? You know who you are. After we got a boss of a higher low mark out Fibonacci, yeah, so you just read that. That's that, okay? So let me show you a live chart example of this. So this Asia session, was it bullish or bearish? It was bullish. So now after 8 o'clock, we're looking for bearishness. Now we just look for a break of a low. So 8 o'clock open right here. We got a break of a low. So we use this strategy on the 5-minute time frame, nothing lower. We look for a break of a low. Boom, we got a break of a low right here, boss. And now we just mark out our Fibonacci from the recent high to the recent low. Well, the recent low was right here. However, what happened is that price never retraced into 0.62. So we just get from the recent high right here to the recent low, which is right here, okay? And then we just enter off 0.62. Boom. Fibonacci, recent high, recent low, boom. And then that's what happened. Okay, cover the high, which is right here. So the recent highs, yeah, high right there. And take profit 1 to 2 minimum, okay? Don't go for anything less than that. Okay, so when you get the boss on the 5-minute candle, and okay, so this is another reason why I wouldn't enter. When we get a boss, and in the next 5-minute candle, go down and touch the golden zone of 0.60, I wouldn't enter. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by this. This is also a part where people struggle on, okay? So we got the break of structure of this low right here, okay? We broke this low after 8 o'clock. We're allowed to break this low, we're allowed to break any of these lows. We just have to break a low after 8 o'clock, okay? After we broke the low, we mark out our Fibonacci from high to low, okay? So the reason high to low was right there, okay? So let's just say that as soon as we broke this low, so we broke this low with this candle. So we broke the low with this candle. We mark out Fibonacci right here. If the next 5-minute candle comes up and touches my 0.62 zone, which is right here, I wouldn't enter. I wouldn't enter the trade, okay? I would like to see some separation. I would like to see price separating a little bit, okay? So let me tell you what I mean by that. I would like to see price have a candle right here. And then I would like to see price have, so another candle, which is right here. So as price formed, boom. And then what I'd like to do is then I would like to enter the trade and then it touches that 0.62. But if price straight after it broke the low, so this candle broke the low, if price straight away after this candle finishes and then a new candle forms, touches the 0.62 zone, I wouldn't enter the trade, okay? I would like to see some separation, and this candle separates it because it didn't touch the 0.60 zone, and then we just enter off 0.62, okay? And for example, price kept on going down, 0.62 entry right here, cover the high as I did say before, boom, let me enter the trade, okay? So let me show you another example of that, because again, I don't want to have you guys struggling. Right here, very nice example. So 8 o'clock was right here. I'm not going to explain the Asia session, I'm going to explain this after, but right here, boom, Asia session opened 8 o'clock. There you go. Now we're just looking for a break of a low. This low formed right here. There you go. Okay, so we got the break of the low, okay? This candle broke the low. So we mark out our Fibonacci from this high to this low. So if the candle straight after this comes up and taps my 0.62 zone, I would cancel this entry. I wouldn't enter anything. So let's see if it taps into 0.62. No, it doesn't. So our entry is still valid. So now our entry is valid. We can enter off the 0.62 zone. Okay? Just like that. There you go. We can trade our Fibonacci from here to here, which is basically the same. Sniper entry, and then it did what it did, okay? So that's just how it works. Let me just play price forward so I can explain to you guys more. There you go. So that's that. And that's something that you should really follow too. Enter the trade on the 0.62 golden zone. Make sure you look at momentum on the 1 minute time frame. If momentum is too much, you can wait and get a better entry, okay? So you can wait and get a deeper entry, if you know what I mean, okay? So what I mean by this is we're entering off the 0.62 zone, okay? So we're entering right here. In this case, there was literally no momentum. As you can see, there was literally no candles right here. Yes, there was this candle before, but right here we just started consolidating and then we tapped into 0.62 zone. But if momentum was high, if we got like consecutive up candles, so we're looking to enter our trade right here. If we get like a massive up candle again, like this, then wait for your trade. And then if you start forming like a down candle, or you start forming some selling pressure, then enter your trade so you can get a higher entry. Okay, you don't have to necessarily do this, but again, you can get a better entry. Okay, stop loss covering the recent lows or the highs, depending on whether you're looking for buyers and sells, as I said before. So we're looking for our entry right here, 0.62, and we're going to cover the recent high which we marked our fib from. Boom. And finally, move stop loss to break even at 1-to-1 RR. Okay, so as soon as price touches 1-to-1 RR, which is right here, boom, we touched 1-to-1 RR. We don't take any profits because 1-to-1, I'm not settling for a 1-to-1. Okay, we just move our stop loss to break even, and then you can take profits. Let me go on this. I take profit 1. You can take it on a liquidity zone or an imbalance zone. Okay, so just the zone which makes sense. And TP1 has to be no less than 1 to 2 RR. Okay, no less than 1 to 2 RR. If it's less than 1 to 2 RR, 1.76, 1 to 1.76, I wouldn't enter it. Okay, I'm just not going to risk that, you know, because the win rate is about 60 to 65%, and it's actually higher than that. But this is me entering some dumb trades, you know, throughout the process of trading my strategy. So if it's 60%, you wouldn't want to go for 1 to 1.7 RR. You just, I don't think you will be profitable in the long run. However, you wouldn't be very profitable in the long run. You'll be like what, 2% a week and stuff like that, which is really good. But again, it's not like something which you guys expect, you know. So TP1 no less than 1 to 2 RR. Long term take profit should be the daily open at 10 p.m. Okay. So let me tell you what I mean by that. So the daily open for this case, which really wasn't the best. So the daily, oh no, it wasn't. The daily open was right here. Sorry, 10 a.m. as I said before. Let me go on the 5M, because the 5M, you can literally just use the 5M for the strategy. The daily open was right here, 10 a.m. and the long term take profit should be right here. The long term take profit being right here. Okay, so let's see if it taps the long term take profit. Boom, sniper entry, sniper exit. Let's see if it was a sniper exit. Actually, it might not be. It might run lower, but yeah, there you go. Sniper entry, sniper exit. There's a meaning to every single thing I do here, okay? In the strategy, there's a meaning to every single thing, okay? I'm not telling you some BS. I'm not telling you do this, do that, do this, do that. I'm telling you everything, okay? There's a meaning. Boom, take profit right here because it's a daily open price. 0.62 is it's the best zone to enter from. It's a very nice discount. I don't really have a proper meaning for that, to be fair. But I've seen price tap off that and then sniper entry off that the most. I've backtested for so long, months on months, and yeah, it does this day in and day out. Okay, not every day, but yeah, when it happens, it happens. Okay. The final note is if price is above or below, depending on whether you're buying, selling, a daily open price after 8 o'clock, be very cautious. So let's just say, I'll show you some examples of that after. Okay, so this trade A to Z, I'll show you the example of this. Okay, was Asia session bullish or bearish? It was bullish. So after 8 o'clock, we're looking for bearishness. Then what we just did after 8 o'clock is when 8 o'clock open, we just look for a break of a low, which we got right here. And then we take out Fibonacci high to low, enter off 0.62, sniper entry, 1 to 1 RR, which is right here. We move to break even. And then we can take profit at a liquidity level. So 1 to 2 minimum. So I'm not going to take my profit at this liquidity level. I'm going to take it somewhere right here because this is a really nice liquidity level, as you can see. It's a very nice set of lows. Boom. So this was probably be my first TP. I did actually enter this trade. I did. You can check my Instagram. I think I posted it there. So yeah. And then the long-term TP should be right here. Okay. So daily open price. Boom. So that's one example. Let me show you another example right here. So what you're gonna do? Same exact thing, day in, day out. Mark out 10 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Was it bearish or bullish? It was clearly bullish. Boom. Yes, we did have a little bit of bearish move right here, but the overall movement, the biggest movement, which was created right here, was bullish. If you get something like this also, if you get bullish and then we become bearish, touching the opening price, okay, which is right here, and we can go a little bit below. We were basically bullish, okay, for the day, because the biggest move in the entire range is bullish. The biggest move in this entire range is bullish, okay. Just look at the biggest move, okay. So now after 8 o'clock, we're looking for sells. So we're looking for bearishness. 8 o'clock was right here. Now we're looking for a break of a low after 8 o'clock. We had this low form, broke the low, boom. Take Fibonacci from the high to the low. Then we're going to enter off 0.62. Easy, 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 easy. Cover the high, 1 to 7.63. And 1-to-1 RR, move to break even, and then where I'm going to take profit for this one would be right here, maybe this imbalance zone. Yep, this is a very nice imbalance zone for my TP1. And then the long-term take profits, as I said before, should be the daily opening price. So the daily opening price is right here. Okay, this candle right here. So this is where you're going to target long-term. And look what happened. It tapped into it very nicely, and then it reversed. There was news in this day, so I would have probably closed earlier. Another thing which I do want to say is that you should watch out. So I haven't added this for the note. Maybe close your trade at 11.45. 11:30 to 11:45 actually. 11:30 to 11:45. We start reversing sometimes, okay? So make sure you watch out 11:30 to 11:45, because look what happened right here. I'm pretty sure 11:30 was right here, 11:45 was right here. We started reversing a little bit, but usually what happens at 11:45 we start reversing, okay? Maybe like sometimes it happens, but sometimes it doesn't. It just depends, okay? Another one right here, same exact process. This one ended up being a bloody banger trade, okay? I did not enter this one though, I'm just saying, okay? I didn't enter this, but this one ended up being a bloody, oof, like a killer entry, okay? I couldn't speak then. 10 o'clock, boom, 7 o'clock, boom, same thing. As I did say, what's the biggest move throughout this entire range? It was bullish, okay? Yes, we had this little bearish move right here, 5.6 pips. However, we moved 27 pips towards the upside. The biggest move in this entire range was bullish, clearly, okay? So now what we're looking for is we're looking for bearishness after 8 o'clock. We're looking for sells, okay? 8 o'clock, we mark out right here. Boom. Right here. There you go. 8 o'clock, we mark out right there. And then after 8 o'clock, we look for a break of a low. Straight away, we broke this low right here. So then we mark out our Fibonacci from the high, recent high to recent low. This might confuse you. You might say, well, this high right here. However, this high didn't really form. So a real like high, you know what I mean? So this high separates, this high is just like one candle, if you know what I mean, okay? I would like to see a nice high, which is right here. Boom. High to low, enter of 0.62, cover the high. That's how easy it is, okay? And then take profit 1, no, not take profit 1, but move to break even at 1-to-1 RR. Take profit 2, I wouldn't target here. Why? Because it's 1 to 1.62 RR, which I'm not favoring. I wouldn't move it here also because it's 1 to 1.85. I mean, yeah, you can have 1 to 1.85. That's still close to 1 to 2, but where our target is right here at this imbalance zone for my first TP, okay, which was 1 to 2.34, and then the opening price was right here. Okay, the opening price was right here. So I wouldn't target this as my long-term TP. I would just like target wherever really. The momentum was so high. There was also news on this day, so I don't know if I would have entered this trade or not. But there was also news on this day, so yeah, maybe if you saw the entry, you probably would have entered. But there was also news on this day, so I would have just stayed away. Okay, and this is also a very good example of this right here. If price is above/below, depending on whether you're buying or selling, daily open after 8 o'clock, be very cautious or don't enter a trade at all. Okay, so for example right here, so the opening price is right here. I'm looking for sells, okay? So if price is below the daily opening price, okay, which it is not, I'm looking for my trade above the daily opening price so I can enter very confidently. But if price was below it right here and you are looking for your trade, do be cautious, okay? Because price has already gone away below daily opening price. But in this case, it did actually end up tanking down below entry price. Absolute tank. Look at that. 1 to 20 RR, okay? You wouldn't have held till that, guaranteed. I'm not going to give you some stupid expectations of, yeah, my team is the best. My team enters 1 to 100 RRs. I'm not going to tell you some BS like that, okay? Same thing, day in, day out. As I did say before, 10 o'clock right here. Boom. Market until 7 o'clock right here. Was it bearish or bullish? The biggest move throughout this range was bearish, okay? So now after 8 o'clock, we're looking for buys. We're looking for bullishness, okay? So we mark out 8 o'clock, which is right here. Boom. And then we're looking for a break of a high, okay? So yeah, okay, that's 8 o'clock, we're looking for a break of a high. We never really got a break of this high, so I wouldn't really check anything. But then after 8 o'clock formed, you have this high. We're allowed to break this high, okay? Don't forget, we're allowed to break this high. With this trade, you could have got multiple entries, okay? Let me give you some examples actually, okay? So yeah, we broke this high. This is the high we broke after 8 o'clock. We're allowed to break this high, however 8 o'clock didn't break this high. This candle before 8 o'clock actually, oh no, this 8 o'clock candle actually broke this high. Okay, so this would have been an entry, okay? This 8 o'clock candle broke this high. We're allowed to break at 8 o'clock, so we get our Fibonacci from recent low to the high, which was created right here, basically, and then we just enter our 0.62. Boom. So this would have been our first trade, but if you missed this one, I'll show you something right now, okay? If you missed this one, what you're going to do is price broke this high right here, and then you would have taken the exact same thing. Fibonacci, low to high, enter our 0.62. Boom, right here. Stacking up the entries. Again, stop loss below the recent low. Okay, and then this one would have been moved to break even at 1-to-1. Same exact thing. Price didn't break this high, but price broke this high right here. So we take it from the recent low, recent high, which is right there to there. You can enter multiple entries, but if you get one entry and you like that one, just stick to that one. I'd recommend, because you don't want to lose tons of entries right here. Stop loss below the low, same thing, okay? And we can do this until 10 o'clock. So this one I wouldn't have entered because this is 10 o'clock, but these two I would have entered because this happens. So as soon as 10 o'clock hits, we stop trading the strategy, okay? So these, but you don't have to close your trade. You just have to stay in the, you can stay in the entry, you don't have to close it, but you just stop trading the strategy after that, because I do see manipulation happening after that, okay? So there you go, that's the strategy, okay? So now let me show you some examples of me not entering the trade using the strategy, okay? Because I don't want to just show you trades which are valid, I want to show you some invalid ones also. So right here, you would have marked out 10 o'clock, so this is actually today. Is it today? No, it's not, it was yesterday, okay? So you mark out 10 o'clock, which is right here, all the way to 7 o'clock, which is right here. Were we bearish or bullish? Okay, this is a hard question to ask. Okay, were we bearish or bullish? We were I would say we were mostly bearish. So right here we were actually bullish a little bit, 10 pips, and then we were bearish from here to here, about 13 pips. So this I would say is consolidation, because yeah, you might say, well, the biggest move in this range was bearish. Yes, it was. We moved 15 pips up, we moved 10 pips down. However, it's very close to each other, you know. I would call it consolidation. I would like to see price to move in one direction pretty big, okay? Not like from this high and then this low, okay? But yeah, you could still enter something like this. So if you said it was bearish, after 8 o'clock you start looking for buys, which is right here. Now you just look for a break of a high. Did you get any break of highs right here? No, and then 10 o'clock we stopped trading. So there was no trades for this day anyway, okay? Same thing. Boom, 10 o'clock. Mark out. So you would reach a point, like many members in the Discord, where you don't even have to mark out the 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock points, okay? You really don't. So I'm at a point where I don't even have to mark it out. You will reach that point, okay? So from here to here, were we bearish or bullish? We were bullish. Why? Because the biggest move was bullish. So the daily open price was right here. This might confuse you, okay? But it's not after I tell you. The daily open price was right here, okay? And then from here to here, 10 to 7 were bearish or bullish. The biggest move was bullish, okay? And then yeah, we went back to open price, but the biggest move was bullish. So from here to here, we were bullish, okay? So now after 8 o'clock, you start looking for sells. So 8 o'clock being right here, 8 o'clock. So we just look for a break of a low. We got a break of this low right here. Boom. So I would have marked out my Fibonacci from this high to this low, but we never retraced. So then we got a break of this right here, this low. So Fibonacci, this high to this low right here. Boom. No, but then I would have cancelled it to this low right here, but I would have cancelled this entry. Why? It's because we broke a new low right here. So I would just cancel the entry. I wouldn't keep it after we break a new low with some new structure. I'd mark it from this high to this low. However, we ended up touching 10 o'clock. No, actually, price ended up tapping into it, and then maybe a little loss would have entered right here. Okay, it's maybe a little loss. But again, what have I told you before? This is the daily opening price, and we're looking for, so we were bullish, we're looking for bearishness, we're looking for sells, okay? If price is below daily opening price, I mean, no, this is actually above daily opening price, it was right here. But if price was below it, I wouldn't have entered anything right there, okay? But yeah, this trade looked pretty good. However, it just ended up being a loss, okay? It's okay, it ended up being a loss. You can't fight with it, okay? 10 o'clock, same thing. 7 o'clock, which is right here. Were we bearish or bullish? We were clearly bearish, okay? And now 8 o'clock, we start looking for our trade, which is right here, 8 o'clock. Now we're just looking for a break of a high. Got a break of this high right here. It's a pretty decent high. Now I'll take my Fibonacci from this low to this high, sniper entry that, boom, right here, stop loss below the low, and that's just how it goes. And this was the daily opening price. Let me show you. This was the daily opening price, and we're not above it. When we enter the trade, we're actually below it because we're entering our trade right here. But as soon as, let's just say we're like this, okay? Form like this. So we break the, so we go above the daily opening price, and we break a high, and then we come down. Then I'll be really cautious in order to enter this trade, or I just won't enter it at all, okay? So final trade I'll show you where probably would have struggled on maybe. So right here, same thing, 10 o'clock, which is right here, till 7 o'clock, were we bearish or bullish? The biggest move from daily open price, we were bearish, okay? Yes, we had this little bullish move right here. However, this is only 5 pips, and this is all the way 15 pips. This is 3 times that amount, okay? And the other example I showed you, it wasn't even 1 2 times that amount. So yeah, so we were bearish. So now after 8 o'clock, we're looking for bullishness, okay? Because the biggest move was bearish. So 8 o'clock, we mark it out right here, and now we're just looking for a break of a high. Boom, we got a break of a high right here. However, from here to here, we never ended up retracing down 0.62. And then we formed some new structure right here. We broke this one, so we just cancel this entry. Boom. No, sorry, we cancel this entry right here. So you mark out our Fibonacci low, recent low to this high right here. It tapped 0.62, and you probably would have entered this trade right here. But as I did say before, if price is above daily opening price and you're looking for buys, so I'm looking for buys because from here to here, the biggest move was bearish. So from 8 o'clock onwards, we're looking for bullishness. We're looking for buys. Okay, 8 o'clock onwards, we look for buys, okay? So, but we're above, this is the daily opening price, we're above it. So you should be cautious when entering the trade, but it did actually end up running pretty nicely. I just want to say this video was packed of education. This was packed, this is a completely packed video, okay? But this shouldn't be an excuse for you, okay? This shouldn't be an excuse. I've given you a document. I might edit the document actually because I think that this is actually enough. This is completely enough. I don't really have to get annotations or anything. I believe this is enough. But don't just base it off this video. Don't tell me, oh, I watched this video, I don't understand. Watch the backtesting session. Watch the trade examples which I show you on the Discord. I'm going to post maybe 1 a week of trade examples and backtesting sessions. I will do 1 a month because I'll show you the entire month. So in March, I did the entire March. I backtested the entire March. You guys saw there was about 2 losses and there was about like 5 wins or something. Okay, 6 wins, I don't even know. And the RR was incredible, okay? So yeah, that's just what ended up happening. This shouldn't be an excuse for you. Backtest session, watch that, and this will be grilled into your head, okay? I know this video is packed of education, but it's so easy. After I showed you these examples, it was so easy. So to that one person, I wasted 37 minutes just for you, okay? It wasn't a waste because it's helping everyone, but I did all of that just for you. Actually, it was way more than an hour because I made this entire thing in like 15 minutes or so, okay? So yeah, everyone, take care, and yeah, peace.